You've probably never thought of your nighttime drink as an ally for your sexual vitality, but what you choose before bed can quietly set the stage for how your body wakes up in the morning. Imagine it as loading the right kind of fuel into your system before a long, restorative flight. Your heart rate slows, your muscles soften, yet deep inside, the conditions for stronger blood flow, balanced hormones, and sensitive nerves are being nurtured. This is the quiet preparation that most people overlook, because we tend to think of sexual readiness as something we do in the moment. In reality, the groundwork is laid hours earlier. Let's start with the simplest fact. Blood flow is your number one ally. Without healthy circulation, you could have all the desire in the world and still struggle with performance. Drinking a warm, circulation-friendly beverage before bed, something as simple as a light herbal infusion with natural vasodilators, helps relax blood vessels and improve oxygen delivery. Think of your arteries and veins as garden hoses. Overnight, you want them supple and open, not stiff and narrow. When they're flexible, your body can fill tissues quickly and fully in the morning, making you feel more responsive without having to force anything. The second reason this matters is hormones. Testosterone production in men and key sexual hormones in women peak during sleep. Your body relies on deep stages of rest to trigger these chemical releases. That's why stimulants like coffee or heavy alcohol sabotage your readiness. They steal from your night's recovery. Instead, a drink rich in calming compounds, like magnesium or gentle adaptogens, supports the natural hormonal surge that happens around 2-4 a.m. When you wake, you're not just rested, you're hormonally primed. Then there's your nervous system, the often forgotten third pillar of sexual function. Good nerve response means you can actually feel and enjoy arousal, rather than it being dulled or inconsistent. Certain plant-based drinks, particularly those with antioxidant properties, protect tiny nerve endings from oxidative stress and keep them firing at full capacity. Picture them as fine, sensitive antennae they need to be well maintained to pick up the signal of arousal instantly. The beauty of this bedtime ritual is its simplicity. You don't have to overhaul your life. You just choose differently for your last drink of the day. Maybe it's a cup of tart cherry juice, rich in melatonin and circulation-friendly anthocyanins. Maybe it's a ginger and lemon tea to gently boost nitric oxide levels. The key is light but consistent action, choosing something that supports all three pillars without overloading your system. And it's not just about what you add, it's also about what you leave out. Sugary sodas, heavy cream-laden drinks, or strong alcohols force your digestive system into overdrive just when your body wants to focus on repair. That's like trying to renovate a house while the party is still going on in the living room. It delays and disrupts the work that needs to happen overnight. In time, you'll notice the difference not just in sexual readiness, but in how your whole body feels in the morning. Your mind will be clearer, your muscles less stiff, your mood lighter. That's because this one choice aligns with your body's natural overnight repair cycles instead of working against them. When you stack enough of these small, supportive habits, they start to reinforce one another, and that's when the real transformation happens. So tonight, as you stand in your kitchen deciding what to sip before bed, picture the version of you who wakes up alert, energized, and confident in the morning. That version is built, quietly and consistently, in moments like this by what you choose to drink before the lights go out. By the time you drift into your first deep sleep cycle, that simple bedtime drink has already begun, weaving itself into your body's internal systems. It's not magic, it's biology. And the most fascinating part is how it nurtures your three pillars: circulation, hormones, and nerve health. Think of them as the foundation of a sturdy bridge. If even one pillar weakens, the whole structure loses its stability. Strengthening all three overnight means you're not relying on quick fixes in the morning, you're building resilience that lasts. Circulation is where everything begins. The active compounds in your drink, maybe it's the nitrates from beetroot powder, the gingerols from fresh ginger, or the anthocyanins from berries, act like gentle mechanics on your cardiovascular system. They encourage the release of nitric oxide, a molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. While you're lying in bed, your heart isn't working hard, but it's working smart, pushing nutrient-rich blood to every extremity, including the tissues responsible for sexual function. By morning, your body is primed for responsiveness, like a well-oiled engine that starts smoothly even on a cold day. The second pillar, hormones, thrives under the cover of darkness. Your endocrine system is especially sensitive to stress and poor rest. A calming drink before bed signals your body to downshift, lowering cortisol, the stress hormone that can interfere with sexual function, while creating a friendlier environment for testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone to do their work. It's like dimming the lights in a theater so the main performance, your hormonal surge, can begin without distractions. And because this happens naturally while you sleep, you wake up with an internal chemistry that supports desire rather than dampens it. The third pillar, nerve health, might seem less obvious, but it's crucial. Every moment of arousal, every subtle sensation, depends on tiny nerve endings communicating clearly with your brain. Over time, oxidative stress, poor circulation, or even chronic inflammation can dull this communication. That's why antioxidant-rich bedtime drinks matter. They protect nerve tissue and keep those wires sensitive and quick. A small but steady supply of polyphenols, vitamin C, or anti-inflammatory compounds like curcumin can help preserve the sharpness of your responses. Together, these three pillars create a feedback loop. Better circulation feeds healthier hormone delivery. Balanced hormones help protect nerve sensitivity. Responsive nerves encourage better blood flow. It's not just one system waking up ready in the morning, it's your whole body working in harmony. Of course, this doesn't happen in isolation. Your drink is the trigger, but your nightly environment matters too. Keeping the bedroom cool, avoiding bright blue light from screens, and giving yourself a quiet wind-down window amplify the effects of what you drink. These signals tell your body, we're preparing for deep restoration, which is exactly when your three pillars do their best work. You may also notice subtle side benefits. A circulation-friendly drink can reduce morning stiffness in your joints. Hormone-supportive compounds can improve your mood and focus the next day. Nerve-protective antioxidants can sharpen not just physical sensitivity, but mental clarity. This is the beauty of supporting your sexual health. Holistically, it ripples into every part of your life. So when morning arrives and you feel that stronger, steadier readiness, remember, it's not an accident. It's the result of quiet, consistent care. Instead of chasing performance in the moment, you've been tending the roots that make it natural. And the more nights you give your body this kind of support, the less you'll have to think about it at all. It simply becomes the way you function. Somewhere along the way, many of us were taught to think about sexual performance as a test, something you either pass or fail in the moment. But the truth is, the body doesn't work like that. What you feel in the morning is not a verdict. It's a reflection of the care you've given yourself over time. This is where the shift from performance to presence and self-respect changes everything. When you start drinking with intention before bed, not just to quench thirst, but to support your circulation, hormones, and nerve health, you're sending yourself a message. I'm worth preparing for. That mindset reshapes your relationship with your body. You're no longer scrambling for last-minute fixes because you've built a foundation that holds up even on days when stress, fatigue, or age might otherwise chip away at your readiness. This is the point where your evening drink becomes more than a habit. It turns into a ritual, a small, consistent act that grounds you in self-care. Pouring it into your favorite mug, feeling the warmth in your hands, noticing the aroma, it's all part of telling your nervous system, we're winding down, we're safe, we're cared for. That safety translates into better rest, which feeds directly into the systems that make you wake up feeling alive and connected to your own body. And here's the part people often miss. Presence in intimacy is not about how hard you can push yourself in a single moment, but about how well you can listen to your partner, to your own body, to the subtle signals that make connection feel real. When your blood flow is strong, your hormones balanced, and your nerve responses sharp, You're free to be present without the background worry of, will I measure up? You're already there, ready to respond naturally. There's also a deeper layer. Treating yourself with this kind of nightly respect makes it easier to carry that respect into other choices, what you eat during the day, how you move your body, when you give yourself time to rest. These small, aligned actions create a compounding effect, and when your body feels supported, it responds with trust, making intimacy feel less like effort and more like expression. Of course, there will be mornings when you still feel off. No ritual is a magic shield against every stressor, illness, or life event. But even on those days, the difference is that you know why you might be feeling that way, and you have a path back. You're not helpless, and you're not broken. You're simply in a moment where your body needs extra kindness. Think of your bedtime drink as one of those simple but powerful tools in your self-respect toolbox. It's not expensive, it doesn't require equipment or complicated schedules. It's just you, taking a few minutes each night to create the conditions for vitality, not just in sex, but in the way you greet the day. And when the morning comes, and you notice the signs, whether it's a strong physical response, an easy confidence, or simply the absence of tension, you'll know it started long before dawn. It started with you choosing to be present with yourself the night before, choosing to feed your 3 pillars, choosing not to chase performance, but to live in it. Because in the end, the penis doesn't lie. The body doesn't lie. They reflect how you've treated them. And when you've treated them with consistency, care, and respect, they respond in kind naturally, confidently, and without the weight of pressure.